Hello everybody and welcome back to the JP on Comms YouTube channel, and in today's video, as you can probably tell by the title, I'm switching things up a little bit, finally taking the first step into covering the Premier League, and today I'm going to be showing you my fantasy Premier League team, and I've also created a fantasy Premier League as well, which you the viewers can join in, and hopefully throughout the season we can kind of battle it out, see who's got the best understanding of the highest tier of English football, who can score the most points, and by the end of it someone will of course have the ultimate bragging rights. So let's get into my fantasy league team. I will leave the code and link to join the league down in the description, and I'll just flash it up on here on the screen as well, so just input that code on the Find a League app and hopefully you'll be able to join my invitational league. It's called the JP on Comms League. But once you've joined, make your own team of course, and hopefully we can have a fun little competition throughout the season. But let's now get into my fantasy Premier League team. So starting in goal, of course, start from the back and we're going to build up throughout this team. I've opted for the highest point scoring goalkeeper of last season, Alisson, who is the goalkeeper of my Premier League team, Liverpool Football Club. I'm sure that'll put off a few viewers. Of course, I know there's a few Man United fans who do watch this channel, so don't shoot me, but hopefully we can share our love for football and put the rivalries aside and have a bit more of a friendly relationship than some fans do. But yes, Alisson is my starting goalkeeper, and that is coming in at 5.5 million on the FPL app. And then I've got Dubravka as my second goalkeeper, 4.5 million, and of course performing in a Newcastle team who really did manage to turn things around under Eddie Howe last season. It does appear that Dubravka is going to be the starting goalkeeper for Newcastle next season, so I think it's only fair, considering the run that they were on and the performances they're putting in with the backing that they're now going to have, that I do put Dubravka in there. Very safe option, not the most expensive of options, and did pick up quite a lot of points last season. So on to the foundations of every good team, and of course I'm talking about the defence. In my defence there are a few star players, and we're going to start off with one of them, the first being the £7 million Cancelo, brand new number 7 of Man City. Of course he has been at the club for a while now, but he has acquired a new number, which could indicate that he might be playing a little bit more forward, and I think he is still registered as a defender on the app, so we're going to be going with that. And he did pick up many goals and assists last season, hence why he has been introduced into my squad for this campaign. And if he is going to be playing a bit more advanced, then hopefully they do maintain his position as a defender on the app, and any goals and assists he does pick up while playing further forward is only going to benefit us, as defenders do get more points for goals, etc. So no brainer there for me. The second biggest signing in my defence is Reece James. Now, debatably one of the best centre-backs, or best right-backs, in the world. I think many Chelsea fans, especially the Chelsea fans that I know, will tell you he's definitely the best in the Premier League, and it's quite hard to contest that. I think he does offer quite a good all-round package, and going forward he can prove very fruitful, probably more so if Chelsea were to sign quite a clinical forward player. Perhaps now with Raheem Sterling in the side, Reece James may pick up even more assists, but if he can maintain his fitness, he's someone who's going to be able to pick up quite a lot of points in my FPL team next season, so that's why he's been included. On to the third player now in that defensive line, and at 4.5 million we've got Ben White of Arsenal. Now, big price tag last season, but he did come in, he did play quite well, he did feature a lot for Arsenal last season, and I think that Arsenal are going to have to live up to expectations this season. They're going to have to finish fourth, which means that they're going to have to keep quite a few clean sheets, and I think Ben White is going to be involved a lot in this Arsenal team, so that's my reason for inclusion there. And at 4.5 million, not too risky, so getting a good top 4 contestant player in that defence for that price, pretty good deal for me. Now the next player is going to be another 4.5 million defender, Markaghy of Crystal Palace. Now I really enjoyed what Crystal Palace did last season. I actually did think Patrick Vieira was going to come in and be quite successful with Crystal Palace, kind of against the odds, as he was one of the favourites to be sacked when he was appointed. So, ball knowledge Joe here, but yes, hopefully Palace can crack on next season, especially for the benefits of the Crystal Palace fans. And I think Markaghy is someone who's again going to feature quite a lot alongside Anderson in that defence for Crystal Palace. Again, they're making some very astute, very good signings, especially Decore in that midfield position. So hopefully Palace can kick on and Gahey can keep some clean sheets and pick me up a few points. And onto the last player in the defence now, the cheapest, or well, one of the cheapest players you can get in the defence. At £4 million, I've opted for Nico Williams. Now, I'm not expecting Nottingham Forest to keep a bounty of clean sheets in the next season, but they are going to have to perform at least in a few games if they want any chance of survival. And I think Nico Williams' his ability going forward, he can pick up a few goals and assists, as we see in his time for Wales. I do think that is the role that he's going to be playing next season, replacing Jed Spence, who of course was on loan from Middlesbrough, now gone to Tottenham of course. I think Nico Williams is going to play that more advanced role, picking up a few goals and assists throughout the season, so that is why I have selected him in there. So now we've covered the defence, let's crack on with the engine room and onto the midfield. So onto the midfield now, and the cheapest player included in my FPL team at £5 million in the midfield is Moutinho, the, of course, elder statesman when it comes to that midfield of Wolverhampton Wanderers, but someone who has got the experience to be able to command that midfield. He did pick up quite a few points last season in the FPL, and he is someone who is going to feature very regularly for a team like Wolves, who did struggle a little bit last season under Bruno Lage, but hopefully they can turn things around, and Moutinho can again get back to his goal scoring ways. He did score a few goals from distance in previous seasons, and he has got the ability to play a killer pass as well, so he can pick up an assist. And I think again he's probably just in there for me as someone who's going to be getting consistent game time, and at £5 million he's one of the cheaper options you can get in the FPL. Going on to the next most expensive player, and we have Bruno Guimaraes of Newcastle, the second Newcastle player in this team, and probably one of Newcastle's, if not Newcastle's best player last season. He did come in under Eddie Howe and was very, very successful indeed, picking up a few goals, a few assists, and running that midfield for Newcastle. One of the key figures besides Eddie Howe himself in turning around Newcastle's season, saving them from relegation and kind of propelling them up the table. I do think with the new ownership at Newcastle, they're only going to invest more, which will allow Bruno Guimaraes to, of course, roam a bit more freely in that midfield, pick up a few more goals and assists than last season, and this time he's going to have a full pre-season under Eddie Howe, so hopefully he's going to be able to kick on for Newcastle fans' sake. Sean Skur, I'm looking at you, and my sake, of course, in terms of FPL. So my third signing in the midfield is Martin Erdegaard of Arsenal, the young midfield maestro, captain of Norway, the number 10 sort of for Arsenal. He does play that position, more advanced midfield, and he did pick up quite a few goals for himself last season. Lots and lots of assists as well, which of course is very good for an FPL player like myself. And I do think with the new signings that Arsenal have managed to acquire this summer, he is going to be able to get even more assists and maybe a few more goals as well, as the interchange in front three creates space for him to run in from the edge of the box. So he is in there for me at £6.5 million. Pretty much a no-brainer signing actually, as he is going to be getting a lot of games in Arsenal's system next season. But on to the fourth player now, and we're getting a little bit more expensive here, the most expensive player in the team so far, and we are looking at Dejan Kunzewski of Tottenham. Under Antonio Conte, Tottenham have become a slightly more different animal, I suppose you could say, although not back to winning silverware as of yet. Antonio Conte is probably their best chance of doing so, and although I don't think they're anywhere near winning the Premier League, of course his cup competitions that Tottenham may be able to perform in, but Dejan Kunzewski is going to be one of the key features in that team next season. I think now he has signed on a permanent deal, and he did pick up a bounty of goals and assists last season. Of course, providing for Heung-min Son and Harry Kane up front, who isn't going to be picking up assists, and when you've got them feeding you, you're going to collect a few goals also. And now he's got someone like Jed Spence going to be playing behind him next season. That's going to mean he can stay even more forward, hopefully, and pick up even more goal involvements in the coming season. So that's why he's in there for me. And then the most expensive player in the team, got to put him in there as a Liverpool fan, the Egyptian king Mo Salah. He's out there on the right wing, £13 million in this FPL team, and for me he's going to kick on this season. He's going to be back to his very best, consistent throughout the season, because he doesn't really have a choice. Now Sadio Mane has left the squad, he is the number one player in that team, especially in that attacking line. All the expectations are going to be on him, since Luis Diaz is still a relatively new signing, and of course Darwin Núñez is going to take some time to bed into this squad. So all the eyes, all the expectation are going to be on Mo Salah, and I think now there's no Mane there, he's going to want that limelight, and it's going to be on a plate for him if he decides to take it. So I think he's going to be banging in very, very many goals. He's probably going to win the Golden Boot, in my opinion. That's not even my Liverpool bias coming through, but because he does frustrate me at times, but he can get a goal even at the worst of times. So for me, a no-brainer, big ticket item in that midfield. So onto the last area of the team, and of course the forward line. I've got 3 attacking players in my forward line, and they're all new signings, 2 of which are new to the Premier League, and the first being the £6 million FPL edition of Taiwo of Nottingham Forest, previously of Union Berlin over in the Bundesliga, and Union Berlin did outperform their expectations in the Bundesliga last season, with Awoniyi leading the line, and Nottingham Forest have just paid quite a bit of money for him. Ex-Liverpool player Awoniyi, who unfortunately couldn't get work permit things sorted out, I think, at his time at Liverpool, but he has managed to sort that out now, and he is going to be leading that line, I think, for Nottingham Forest next season. As I mentioned with Nico Williams earlier, he's going to be feeding balls into the box, and I think Awoniyi is going to be there to score them. So at £6 million, a cheap addition into the forward line, and I think he is going to be picking up some goals for Forest as their main man up front. Now on to the second player in this forward line, and for me, probably the signing of the season, Gabriel Jesus of Arsenal, £8 million in his FPL team, and he is going to be leading the line every single game for Arsenal. Of course, Eddie Nketiah is there after signing a new deal, but you know, if you've got to choose between Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus, there's only one man for the job for me. Coming in from Man City, of course, he is now going to be, for the first time in his career, the main man of a Premier League team, and I think he's going to thrive under the expectation. He's going to get a lot of service from players like Gabriel Martinelli, the new signing Vieira in midfield, and of course Bukayo Saka. So he's going to have opportunities to score goals, and I think he will. For me, I'm going to put him at about 15 to 17 Premier League goals in the coming season, and he's probably going to pick up a few assists as well due to the system that Arsenal do play. The interchange in front line will benefit Gabriel Jesus due to his fluidity that he did acquire at Manchester City. So for me, a good FPL player. And now on to the final player in the forward line, the most expensive player in the forward line, and of course, who else but Erling Braut Haaland, Man City's marquee signing, the new forward man following the departure of Sergio Aguero a little while ago. And Gabriel Jesus this summer, there's only one man for the job in that forward line, and of course it is Erling Haaland. He's probably going to get 100 quite easy goal scoring chances next season with the way Man City do play their football, and of course he's more than capable of scoring just as many, but injury problems are going to be the main concern for me. I do think that's why he's only going to be picking up maybe 15 goals next season, as I do think he's going to miss quite a few games through injury, but 15 goals is not to be sniffed at, and of course in this Man City team he can easily pick up more than 20, probably pushing that 25, but we'll just have to wait and see. But for me, someone who has to be in there, Man City have to have somebody scoring goals, and with the departure of Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus, they may change the system just a little bit to try and target Erling Haaland up front a little bit more. So for me, a good addition and the star man in my forward line. So that is it. That is my FPL team. As I said, please do join the team. A little bit of a hiccup there, but please do join the league. Do check the description below for the league link, and I've got the code here on the screen as well. So just go on to find a league, type in this little code here, and that should hopefully put you into the JP on Comms League on the FPL app. So hopefully I see a few of you joining up there, and we can have a little brag over who wins when it gets towards the end of the season. But As for now, that is all for this video. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.